Hey, this is Cam with Blacktail Studio, and this is my live edge mirror build. In this video, I'm going to show you the steps that I did making this mirror, and actually did 4 mirrors total, so you'll see me bounce around a little bit from 2 maple mirrors and 2 walnut mirrors I did. I'm going to show you all the steps that I did to make this in my garage, and if you have any questions about how I did it, if I left anything out, or just let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks, enjoy.
So where do I get the live edge wood? Lots of places actually. Don't try to get it at Home Depot, but Craigslist a good source. Just make sure you get good dry wood. Make sure it's dry, that's the most important thing. I like to take a few multiple passes here. It just prevents it from binding. Makes a little cleaner cut. Like I said, the joiner is not necessary. It's just getting a nice straight edge on the back there. You can do the same thing with a table saw. You can set up a little jig. It's pretty easy. But having the nice tools does make it easier. You'll see here there's just a nice, clean, straight back edge. Coming over to the bandsaw, setting up the width. This one was for a 1/2 inch. I ended up, I think, at 3/4 of an inch is a little bit better width. I did one that was a 1/2 and 3 that were 3/4 of an inch. This is a Bow Products Feather Pro, Bandsaw Pro. Makes it really easy to do these resaws. Highly recommend this product. Moving over to the planer, just getting everything nice and flat. You could actually get away with not doing this with just a lot of sanding, but the planer gets everything exactly flat, exactly the same thickness. Moving over to setting up the dado blades on my saw stop here. You'll see in a minute what I'm doing this for. Doing a test cut to make sure I had my depth set just right. Ends up being just about 1/8 of an inch. This is a fairly thin mirror. Now, just a whole bunch of dado cuts. And this is what's going to keep the mirror sitting flush to give it a place to rest in the wood. Here I used my block plane to clean up the lines left from the dado blade. Just took 30 seconds maybe. It's pretty quick. Nice little tool. Use a sanding sponge to clean up these edges here. Sponges are nice, they don't take off a lot of the wood, but leave the natural look. Crosscut sled, this is where I'm getting my exact final width. So this is the exact length of my mirror. So this will be the last cut for this. Then just a good bit of sanding. I took it up to 320 grit for these mirrors. You can really go with the Odie's oil anywhere you want, from 150 up to 4,000 if you really want. Here's a question I get a lot about finishing in a garage in a dusty environment. You'll see a lot of posts by me with this Odie's oil. It's just the best finish I've found. I'm not sponsored by them. They're great people though, work with them a lot. There's a lot of ways to put this finish on, but as long as you just wipe it on and wipe it off, make sure you get every last bit of it off, it'll be fine. I'm going to do a few more videos on some advanced methods to get different finishes, different sheens. But for this, you see me just wiping it off with a terry cloth. You don't even need to use the lint free. The terry cloths actually work a little bit better for gripping the finish. You can see there, just a perfect finish in a dusty shop. For small mirrors like this, I think IKEA, Target, Walmart, all good places. Craigslist is great for really large mirrors. A lot of people are just trying to get rid of big mirrors from their house. How do I attach the mirror to the wood? It's a great question. Clear silicone seems to be the best thing I've found. It allows the wood to flex, and you won't see it in the reflection behind the wood, which is something that's easy to forget about. You will actually see if you put like a caulk or a white or a black adhesive, you'll see it on the back side of the mirror. So definitely use something clear. Epoxy I've used before, but it's probably not best because the wood tends to flex seasonally. So this is the best thing I have found so far. All right, I'm doing the same thing on the maple mirror, and I just wanted to include a quick time lapse of the clamps. Really light pressure. You see me put the pads in there to prevent cracking, just enough to get it snugged up against that silicone. You want to let that cure for at least 24 hours, make sure it's good and hard. Here I'm ripping some supports for the back. And I just did 1/4 inch. I just didn't want all the stress to be on the mirror itself, and I also didn't want to put a big sheet of plywood back there that you would see, since it is a pretty small mirror. So I'm using the same silicone just to give it some horizontal support so the mirror wouldn't crack if someone's moving it off and on the wall frequently. Hanging it is actually really easy. I do think there are some wrong ways to do it. I have found the best way is to use picture wire and these little D-ring hooks you'll see me use here in a second. So just a couple of little pilot holes, make sure I don't crack the wood. I like to hand screw these in there, just avoids me from over torquing it down. I like the non-braided picture wire. That way you don't need any special fasteners. You just twist it around a bunch of times, clip it off, twist it around, clip it off. Throw a hook on the wall, and you're ready to roll. So that was my live edge mirror build. I hope everybody enjoyed it. If I left anything out, please ask me in the comments below, or just let me know your thoughts on this video. If you want more information on these builds, look me up on Instagram. I give a ton of information on these builds over there. And thanks so much for watching.